So we all just got the disappointing but unsurprising news that the feds were not going to be pressing charges against anyone in the Shanquella Robinson case because there was supposedly not enough evidence to prosecute anyone beyond a reasonable doubt. Which, of course, is completely ridiculous because we've all seen the videos and we've heard about the injuries listed in Mexico's autopsy report. We've heard about the lies that the Cabo Six told Shanquella's family. And according to witness reports, we know that they laughed over her body. They manipulated the hotel staff and fled Mexico before they could be questioned. And they shared the ambush video with their friends. So, with all of that information available, and with more that should still be accessible through phone records and metadata, how could they possibly think that they could just feed us anything and get away with it? I mean, they can file charges against people with Facebook posts and based on rap lyrics, but video evidence is just not enough. So they decided to circulate the idea that the initial autopsy in Mexico was incorrect when it listed the cause of death as severe spinal cord injury and atlas luxation. They basically said that although all the bruises and injuries that were listed in Mexico's initial report were present in the autopsy that the U.S. conducted, that there was actually no spinal cord injury that the U.S. saw. And it's crazy because this new report that they did, this new autopsy was done almost 3 weeks after her passing and after her body was embalmed. But they want to tell us that this new autopsy is more complete and accurate than the one that was performed in Mexico. It boggles the mind that this is what we are supposed to believe and trust from the people who have basically been not giving any information to Shanquella's family, basically telling them, oh, we're investigating, and not offering any hope, any encouragement. They've been telling them, oh, you want more information? Talk to them. I mean, Sue Ann Robinson, their attorney, literally had to go to Mexico herself to do a fact-finding mission to find out what was going on, to get information. She went to the villa that Shanquella was at. She went to the attorney's office, the state prosecutor's office there. She did all of that because U.S. authorities were basically stonewalling Shanquella's family, telling them, oh, we're investigating, but you may want to ask Mexico what they're doing about it. So, but we're supposed to take their word that, oh yeah, this autopsy, this one that we did right here, that's the accurate one. That's the one that we're going to go with. And since, hey, we don't see what Mexico was talking about. All we see is these bruises, and we see that there's blunt force trauma to her head and swelling on her brain, but we can't figure out what caused her death, so can't do anything about that. They actually want us to trust what they say in this case. It's completely ridiculous. So, of course, like a lot of us, Shanquella's mom, Salamandra Robinson, is not buying it. And she basically said in an interview that was conducted after the FBI informed them that if they wanted justice, they'd have to get somebody else to do it. I mean, they basically said, again, well, we're not going to do anything about it, but, you know, if Mexico does something, we'll help them. At this point, what help what help can you give? Because they've decided, they basically haven't been extraditing. Mexico sent the request in to Interpol and to the U.S. They said back at the end of November last year, they sent the request in for extradition for the direct aggressor in that video that we all saw. But they haven't received any response back from the U.S. But the U.S. now wants to tell Salamandra that, hey, if she wants justice, see what Mexico's willing to do about it, and we'll help them all we can. When all evidence to the contrary, they haven't been helping at all. But anyway, in this interview, Salamandra stated that she might have to have Shanquella's body exhumed.
I was disappointed because the simple fact is that they had enough evidence due to the video that was online, and they said it wasn't enough evidence, but I don't believe. And then they said that they don't know what was the cause of her death, but the cause of her death was due to the fight, from what we could see. And she said she didn't have a broken neck, and she also died from the swelling on the brain, but she also was beaten. So you can give me I feel that someone should have been arrested due to that, but they trying to say that it didn't. So I might have to have her body exhumed because we need another autopsy. We're gonna keep going. We will be in Washington on May the 19th. I feel that they should have took this case and took it serious when it first happened. They didn't step up to the plate and do what they needed to do from the very beginning. They said it was out of their hands, but it looked like to me they didn't try to do anything, and they really failed my family, as being the FBI and the government here. We has really been failed, because my daughter didn't deserve to die like that, and brother was in Mexico or wherever it was, and they need to make a law, let people know that you can't go out of town and do nothing to someone and come back and think that you's okay with it. There was a video, everybody's seen the video. So there should have been some charges should have been made. And I'm talking about here in the United States.
Can you believe that? It's amazing that after over 5 months of being absolutely no help, while pretending that they were treating this case as a priority, after 5 months of stalling the family by pretending to be cooperating with Mexico and investigating the case themselves, the FBI finally had to show their hands after attorney Sue Ann Robinson and Ben Crump got on the case. And based on the statement that Sue Ann Robinson made during the press conference after the FBI's announcement, it almost seems like they basically waited until Sue Ann got back from Mexico with the packet of information before they even brought any of the Cabo Six in for questioning.
Right. And they did advise that there were interviews conducted. And that's why I say any discrepancies, and I can speak plainly because at this point it's why. If you wait till 5 months after someone committed a crime, I'm not a trained investigator, but I would imagine that the people would have time, if they were involved, allegedly, in a crime, they would have the opportunity in time and space to delete text messages if that's what they wanted to do, to talk to each other about the case. Which is why, generally speaking, in investigations, once you know there's an issue, you immediately and swiftly investigate to prevent delays, that would prevent discrepancies, that would prevent justice from being served. And so that's why it's so disheartening that the U.S. authorities allowed there to be such a delay in this case.
Can you imagine how much longer they would have stalled the family if Sue Ann Robinson and Ben Crump hadn't used their connections and started writing letters to the White House and State's Department? It's absolutely unthinkable. And although the feds may think they have the last word in the Shanquella Robinson case, they aren't the final authority. And unfortunately, we knew this would be the drill when it came to this case. We hoped to be pleasantly surprised for once. But thank God that there are options for private autopsies and high levels of diplomatic intervention in this case, because it looks like that's what it's going to take. If basically the FBI is not really directly communicating with Mexico in terms of this extradition request that they sent, someone, this high level of diplomatic intervention, someone's going to have to step in and be like, we need to get this done. And hopefully that's something that is going to happen soon. So we're going to keep pushing this out there, because this is something that we all need to be keeping up on top of. We need to just keep it going, because we see that it hasn't been talked about in mainstream media a lot. We of course, when there are like major things like this news, we get some sort of coverage for it, but we know, we've all seen the coverage that other people get when it comes to things like this, and it has been nowhere near that level of coverage for this case. And so we're just going to keep on top of it, because Shanquella Robinson will have justice. There will be justice for Shanquella Robinson. All right, thanks for watching. Let me know what you guys think. Do you believe this new autopsy report that they've been releasing? Do you think that the U.S. autopsy was more complete? Has the U.S. did they completely drop the ball and not care? Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching.